Oh, hi, I'm Alan Chan, and I'm the owner of At My Games, and I am trying to show you how to, what is the wheel engineering background looks like. Um, as a mostly computer engineering. Uh, this is what the simple background should looks like as a computer engineering. I researched it. It's like some soil moisture sensor, rain sensor, water flow as the water turbine, alcohol sensor, um, gas sensor as gas going inside through the pipe, and smoke sensor, the temperature sensor, and stuff like those. Yeah, I think you're supposed to use C code or Java code for this. Like a slowly more older code looks like that's more stronger, and what there looks like, what engineering looks like, more not really computer engineering, is more closer to electronic engineering, is that this is the switching, transferring the electricity circuits, like amounts of electricity to a different room and stuff like those. uh, you have to learn, get the point, how to see the difference. Like such as this one that Facebook searched it. It was this one. Like the closer index toward the center is the more shorter radius, which is spin faster inside, while the outside of this behind here is the more bigger radius, so it will spin slower. So this is what it looks like. It spins faster inside the index and spins slower outside because of the longer index, which takes longer time, the longer index. Uh, yeah, this is one of it. Like you learn how to see a difference to be an engineer, and and also coding as well. How to improve yourself through coding is through like something like through like this is more like attention, like how speed goes through spinning wheel, or changing the car gears in the vehicles. That I researched it. Like it's something about the tension wheel that I can't really tell the difference. That's what it looks like in real life. It's not easy mechanical engineering. This is the to mechanical engineering after electronic engineering, but you have to know computer engineering first. Uh, yeah. Like you have to know good with numbers. Math is always real. Uh, yeah, you have to understand those stuff, what it looks like. To improve yourself, like this is what it looks like inside the wheel engineering stuff. Um, I Facebook searched it. It looks like kind of like this. Like you stuff this type of steel and the mold, it stamps the mold what it looks like by pressure and stuff like those. But it's hard to code with this, but I'm not there at all. I'm just saying it what it looks like in engineering looks like. Yeah, it's tedious. Really tedious, but that's what it looks like. The Gale's angle right and the size is right. And then this is, you can use this as all this. Uh, this thing can be kind of with all these things that you actually can be engineering stuff with all of this. Uh, yeah, such as using software and how this is testing what it looks like. And how hard it looks like is another one is
These two wheels are mounted on separate axles and
like he's
supported by a
spinning the
frame
wheel,
so that they can revolve freely at different speeds. Let's
like turning stuff at the same time, like
and
moving
if we stop
backwards.
one wheel, the other wheel won't budge.
While like trying to turn
Let's
the
put this bar
two
on a
wheels
pivot.
different.
So now
Trying to
the
turn
bar
two
can
wheels
still
different.
turn both wheels at the same speed. And because it pivots, it lets one wheel turn even when the other is stopped.
Yeah, turn
But
one wheel while it stops.
left is
At
connected
the
to the
end,
rear
it
axle.
looks like
Gives steadier, more
this.
continuous action caused by wide spaces between the spokes. We will put in more
Spin
spokes.
differently.
Further filling in the spaces between the spokes gives steadier, more continuous action. And changing the shape gives firm, constant contact. Now we can make the gears thicker and stronger and wheel around. Now we have the working principles of a differential. To adapt the model for use in an automobile,
Like this, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
make
Like,
a few changes.
trying to turn the better
In order
curve
to
of
reduce the
car
jerky
wheels.
action caused by wide spaces between the spokes,
Yeah, how hard it engineering looks like. And this is more computer engineering stuff. This is toward the more real computer engineering stuff. The how to reuse and recycle stuff. The like how good they are can be actually existed in real life. Like making your own computer from scratch. Yeah, that works. Like teaching how kids how it works while building your own. And that's not it. That's it. There's more. How to learn like really aggressively on codings. That's really hard. It's more like just trying to be more fit. That was a bit over exaggerated, but I don't know. Like skipping ropes and like maybe beep tests. Like trying to do more fitness because it makes you helps you think better and while trying to make you focus more. Uh, this is another one. The what the actually what like engineering might looks like how hard it is. Like just playing with stuff, how factory works and how stuff is moved around. That weird, that like with manics and stuff and spinning on the fidgeting toys. Yeah. Uh, more focusing skills. Also, mandatory. Might be mandatory as like like us physics and like to understand really hard physics and math functions and like yeah like I understand those things like how to learn those harder complex quests. Oh, not a quest. The complex computer stuff and up to engineering stuff. For this one, um, I'm going to introduce you one textbook that you have to learn before engineering. Or else you may be pretty screwed if you don't know this basic stuff. It should learn the Android device first. Um, by Barry Broad, all in one for dummies. I realize that dummies textbook is getting slowly better, and this is what it looks like inside. Uh, yeah, so far you have to learn how to hold button. It's like something that does not pause the screen or does not work. Like you have to learn how to hold the button. Like with some video games, like some video games, they only press like the keyboard. Like in computers, they only learn how to press one key only in the video games. But the phone games are different. You have to learn how to hold or hold and drag around the screen. Like Angry Bird game or the Ninja Fruits games and stuff like those, or Clash of Clan. I mean, not Clash of Clan. The Candy Crush games, maybe. Yeah. They have to learn how to drag and hold those screen. And so far, the Game Maker is hard enough that this class, the code class, will be the whole wrapper class and the whole entire screen. So the whole entire coding will look like a wrapper class of X and Y axis and dragging on between X and Y axis, diagonal or horizontal or vertically. Those are simple stuff first that you have to get before become more advanced computer engineering. That is more like shifting around X and Y axis, the whole entire screen and the interface content as the widget or buttons or the check box and stuff like those. Like those things must be all X and Y axis and as width and height like as a wrapper class. Uh, yeah, as a main activity and stuff to like drag around and do something else. It must be all wrapper class, like for sure. That's what I realized. So you can drag and go somewhere else through the wrapper class. And so far, that this game maker does not really work properly if you try to hold and drag stuff because it's just way too complex. You're supposed to use gesture buttons. It's not supposed to be mouse, left mouse or right mouse only. It had to be device gesture, um, IPE, API. I mean, like um, gestures. Gestures. So to use this gestures, flick speed. Those things does not really work as a drag button or hold button. But because it's such a wrapper class, it can be really complex to code with this. That's not really that convenient. But it still works if you just down one drag or one hold button, but not like it's not that clean coding looks like. Well, like don't use just use device input and stuff. Don't and or gestures. Don't use like those normal ones. Like don't use those normal ones as those normal inputs like the key input. Um, like keyboard check and stuff. Like don't use those ones as some mouse things. There's this different device that it's not the same as like the engineering side that you have to hold button like a remote controller that you have to hold and drag sometimes to control how long does it supposed to go left and right as a character that is not the same like the remote controller that drags around the controller. No, it's not like a keyboard buttons at all. You have to learn that controller first. Then there's a light server down here, which is some kind of. I just estimate. I didn't call this yet, but I'm pretty good at estimating this. That you have to learn how to build stuff like do customer consumer key and stuff like those. The server programming a little bit before you build a real online games even. So it's really important to go through this and this Android application development all in one for the dummies. Because he teach you a bit of server programming and teach you a bit of the Android application development plus the whole button plus the Google Play does not require a business account from your own debit card. So it's big advantage for for a small startup company. So Google Play just requirement is this a debit card that's just good for beginners. And yeah, this is server more to server side. Is you need to like set authorized consumer key and stuff and some kind of URL link and stuff like those, like secret, like not supposed to show it to the whole entire public and tokenizer all tokens and like configuration builder and stuff, like something like those. But I didn't really get it yet. But I think I should someday study this to make online games someday maybe. Then I'm gonna show you how does the robot program looks like. Um, Here, Ras is Java code. Raspberry Pi. You have to download somewhere else with the Raspberry Pi. This Internet of Things means the Wi-Fi controller, like this thing, the Wi-Fi controller. Well, this is I actually have I actually have a cable, but it's supposed to be Wi-Fi control to control robot. This is for games. Well, I'm just showing an example so far. For like a remote controller, like the Internet of Things means Wi-Fi controller. Internet of Things means controlling robot. What it looks like how to make a robot is you have to follow step by step. That so far you have to get how to plug in those holes of wires, links. Which is really confusing. That's why I told you that to learn coding that advanced, you have to be fit and smart. Like be fit as doing beep tests and skipping ropes and stuff like those, and smart as training us a lot of math and physics that's real and a lot of harder math and stuff like those, like calculus, like to accelerate your brain. Like that's like how hard it looks like. Like I just don't get it. Like how the robot program looks like. That that's how it looks like. Like you have to make manage to wire all the stuff, but that's what it seems like we I read it before. That you have to get those wiring step by steps, and then the fourth one, you have to get the electricity voltage to get it right to not overburn your circuits or getting too low electricity, but you can get some average at least, I think. They have to calculate the voltage. That's what it looks like. LED lights. You have to use the LED lights to test and run which circuit is which one as you build slowly building it upwards. As the USB should be testing the input and output the codes around, while you need to use those devices to wiring while testing the circuits are right with the LED lights one by one, while input those code while you input those code while switching the wires one at a time. Like you unplug it afterwards and plug it somewhere else and then while coding it, the button it's like a button kind of thing, multiple button at once. They have to like get all those. It's like a discrete math. They have to get all of them at once. That like which button, and in which order is it. They take off the wires in the end. I think you don't take off all the wires, but you have to get the wiring works. After you put in the wires and code it, and after take off the wire and like change the wires a bit, and then code it again. Like those stuff are really hard. That's what it looks like so far. And and after 7, you slowly build the pieces together after you finish coding everything, or all at once, or most of them at once that you mandatory needed. After and you run it the final test as the motion camera works in the end with batteries and like wheels and like motors and stuff like that, like automatically runs by itself. That's what it looks like. And especially, and maybe need the Internet of Things as remote controllers and stuff. That's what it looks like down here. Raspberry Pi. This is not it's not a language. The subbing language for Java is by Stephen Kuhn and James Weaver. And so far, after learning the light robot, I can learn the AI robot behaviors, which I'm trying to show you an example of what the real SQL looks like. Um, SQL on the one for Dummies, LNG Taylor. That what it looks like is something like SQL table is by this company. Um, that is called. It's mostly called Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is one of them. It's something more complex. It's not really server programming, but it's something more advanced, more like AI behaviors for server programming that automatically runs by itself and triggered by itself. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'll just telling you that what it looks like. Um, and this is one of the YouTube channels that that is the best Excel. That think that is kind of at least learn how does the behavior and the SQL tables works. The basic first before I start coding it. Um, which is pretty neat. This one, the Excel's the two L's fun. You have to learn the SQL Excel's tables from Microsoft Excel's table first before you learn SQL tables, the behavior. They're both a behavior, but Excel is just the most simplest data management, like as a business management, like business data management, like find the average and stuff like those, like economics, risk status, like this example, that the average is going down when it's mostly going down, like as it looks like dragging down as it goes with through time, that mostly it will fail in the future. If it's mostly looks like going up, up again, it will mostly seems like the average is mostly increasing someday. If if it's increasing a lot, it means you should maybe risk more to make more money. If it's decreasing, maybe change strategy or just forget about it. That's like the like the AI will looks like behaviors through math. And this is one example that I already made. Is just insert this, highlight this, and click pi. So, like I'm trying to do a simple pi that's not really real for coding, but it's just like one example what it looks like. It was like how much does a robot made inside a fact? How much does a robot make the product inside a factory is they yell the most, like something like those. Like data management and SQL tables, like something triggers the AI behaviors and stuff automatically by itself. Stew server and stuff like those. That's one example, it looks like. And the data management behaviors that these textbooks teach you how the math function works with really tedious and confusing code that you have to understand how those stuff business works and behavior works and like how life works maybe how you think better. It's more like solving problem stuff. It's not like terminal like robot killing each other stuff. Those are not real. It's more like the intelligence and like solve problem solving stuff. That's how AI computer works. Uh, that that they learn counting through time, count danger when it went below, count checkpoints examples like to track down the records as they go through times to lower the risk. Found the most important groups like to pick on those better workers or better how stuff is make stuff better. Those are something that's a bit more important. And this is what the most important about SQL tables is that the hierarchy, like to learn the stacks and parents and child, which one's more important and which one goes first through the algorithms and network is through collection of data. Relational knowledge, understanding how the data works, as the real life works inside the real life informations, and that's one of it. And this is what the SQL table looks like, getting those employee ID, real names, and job title, and AI to create it like which one's the best worker, and like to track down everything. It's not that bad, but that's how business works sometimes. A hire date, like how long they have, how much they work through time, department, where they work, as working convenience area, maybe something like those. You have to understand how life works. Like, like for example, like how much they work through time, how departments like where they work is more convenient, like working online or working on the studio. Uh, this is the how the collection of database looks like. Is through real life people, then go through computer devices, then go through computer interfaces, then go through the database um, data and like programming stuff, then the database results. Like the database results the codes and like math and like what object orientated, like what stuff it goes by. Uh, And this is what tables looks like when you're organizing it as SQL tables. Host, as the title, as the title, like those stuff. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. Column, organized by columns and uh, rows and stuff. And this is something that behavior looks like to compare between in like similar no as nothing working nothing is happening and all some the amount of them like any is this unique distinct overlaps and match like those SQL tables AI behavior a bit, which is it's just confusing. Like you have to understand how real life like works, like as working on street smart, like analyzing how people thinking and stuff like those. This is something more different. It's more like about an order stuff. Um, like mixing in order stuff, like Nick's peer like the primary stuff first. Let's like the first one go in or out. Last one to go in or out. Absolute means it means always positive, never negative. Relative. Relative is it means I think I don't know. Similar sample. And this is what the stack looks like through with this one. The first in and last and next and stuff. The stacks is one of the AI behavior which one order is most important first and stuff like those. Yeah, I think I'm finished. Yeah, that's how hilarious it looks like through programming. So far, to be honest, I'm at this point. No. I am at this. I am at this point. I'm not. I'm just analyzing ahead. That's what I'm trying to see my hobby is. Should I code forever and stuff like that? That this is my level so far. That I have to learn how to hold buttons through all those wrapper at once and check the how it works with the input and output to make the trigger works. At least that's what I'm just analyzing ahead what it looks like through computer engineering mostly. Yeah, and this is the books that I brought. Um, yeah, SQL, Ellen G. Taylor as SQL tables. Yeah, yeah, I think I finished. Yeah, see ya.